for a blip. Man, that motor sounds good. All right, got these pulled out. I'd like to remake some of those. It'd be nice. See down here, now it's nice and flush. Went ahead and mounted this trans cooler, 4 self-tappers. What's a hot rod without a self-tapper? It's a question everyone should ask. She's actually mounted pretty good. And got a little foam to keep her from the other radiator. But nice and plumb down in there. Now hopefully that fan will draw plenty of air straight through. Can't see it from up front. Most importantly, we're about to drop this in here. I cannot unbolt these. Let me get you down in here. I'm gonna have to cut them out. I'm really curious to see if it fits though. They appear to be. Let's get a measuring tape. Bear with me. It's 2 inches by 7/8 deep. And if I'm looking at this correctly, that's within 2 inches. And within 7/8 deep. That might actually work. Now let's see how far apart this is. About a 15.5 inch on center. So let's get in here on center. What do you know? That's showing 15.5 is right there. That might work, guys. Let's try it. Throw these rubber isolators back in there. Oh, I really hope this works. That one's just not wanting to cooperate. If anything, I might take a hammer and hammer this out so it has a wider seat to taper down into. And then I'll see, we'll see. I need to double check this as well. I believe that should be 25 inches. 25 on the money. Question is this 24-inch radiator really a 24-inch radiator? It's this widest section. 25 3/8. So we have to do a little bit of work. I got to get that out of there. And I left my mom. I was at my mom's working on the garden. I have a little cutting wheel. I left it over there. I've got these, but as you can tell, my disc is broke. And then I just got a grinding wheel. Man. Oh, here's that bracket, by the way, for the radiator. I left my tool at my mom's. Man, I don't feel like driving over there to get it. How can I do that? I ain't putting the saws on. That's going to be tacky. Man. If you're looking with me, I got to cut right there. Get that out of there. But that brings up an interesting topic. I got to cut all this out. Because that's not... It has to clear down in here. And I have to cut all this out. Jesus, Pete. That bolt's always been out. I can't get it to tighten or loosen. Man, that's not good. All because of this bracket. If that bracket was off, we'd be just fine. I bet you they didn't add that in because it's, 24, 25 inch radiator. But then when you option it for the shroud, she's got that lip. All right, I'm going to try. We're going to get in here and see. I believe I might have to be going to my mother's to get the cutting wheel. I don't want to drive it. I just don't want to waste the time. All right, I'll put you back in here when I get some updates. All right, I'll show you what we did. Cut that out. Basically just straightened her up in here. It was down in there, and then it ran up and then over. So I got to clean this up. But that's essentially what we're getting out. And I don't want anybody to say, oh, that's going to take away your strength. I hate to inform you of strength. Do you see what I'm putting down here? All right. She is getting hot. Now I'm talking about my phone. All right. Bring you down here. I got you in on a little zoom. All right. This hose has been nothing but a problem. If I unloosen it and give her a twist, it might line up. As of right now, I could see getting a different hose, but I just don't know where. God, it's pushing the radiator hard. I don't know, that's a problem. I need to get this radiator, there we go, get her snugged in before I start working with that. I got this hose temporary holding this. Guys, why is this that direction? That is crazy to me. See my gap? I'll put another piece of foam in there, and we're going to use this little bracket over here. I'll show you what we got going on. It's kind of a cluster. This is spread a little too wide. I need to bring that in, put a vice grip on it. I'll pull it here in a minute. That way, with it being bolted. But I'm using this bracket to get this radiator down in here just fine. I feel like they did something wrong with this radiator. I feel like the Cold Case logo should be on the outside so you can see it, but then again, I mean, you can't see nothing in there. That's just me being nitpicky. It's a nice radiator though. I gotta hammer this flat down, get this straightened up. It's not for, sorry guys, I keep coughing. It's not for this car, but it sure is working with some modification. We gotta grind that. If I could get that down and then pop me a hole and bolt that in there, get that straightened out, that might be perfect. Because the benefit to this being an electric fan, I don't have this big mechanical fan that's, 3/4 of an inch off the, just sucking it in. So I really don't have an issue with having it mounted with this bracket. I think it'll be just fine. But we are talking a $700 radiator, give or take. It's under $700. If I was sponsored, I'd be telling you down to the penny. But it's about $700. I did get some mirrors ordered too for a '65 Mustang. Everything's Mustang. Nobody has anything for these Galaxie. And then you find that one guy that does, and he's like, my mother used to drive one, and that mirror's worth $500. So that's the situation you get in. But we'll have one on each side. I wanted to do just one, or either swap to like a cool fender mirror from like the 50s. If anybody remembers, I think the Fairlanes or the Crown Vics had fender mirrors back in the day. It was super cool. But we're gonna go period correct, get some teardrops right there. But check out that automatic transmission cooler. I got my relay right here, my power distribution block. That's gonna be perfect. Hop in there right by the fan. Got these little brackets to hold some hose if I wanna run this down and out to an overflow over here. But I had an overflow over here, my pickle jar, and there's no brackets. I might run a 3/8 aluminum fuel line, tuck it down in here, down to my pickle jar. I like my pickle jar. If I could find an original FE overflow, which the people that know, they know what I'm talking about. They mount up here. Expansion tank, those things are high. Woo! They are high. Snoop Dogg don't know how high. Yeah, they're pretty high. And I don't have one. I don't feel like spending the money, you know, $400 or $500 to get one. I just don't feel like it. But man, that radiator cap is about as slick as owl poop. Yeah. Lord, let her stay clean and work good. Amen. Jesus, Pete. I'm going to tidy up on that. Throw y'all on time lapse. Today's video is going to be nothing but time lapse. I hate it. We'll see how this turns out. And then I might attempt to put these fans on the shroud and then bring the shroud down in and get this thing wired in today, crank her up. But unfortunately, I am a family man and I have obligations. I have to take care of my home and cut my grass today. Do some laundry, get ready for work. I got to work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I walk through. So that takes precedence over this radiator. But we are making great progress. So let's cut to a time lapse. Now, I got to say one thing I'm not impressed with. I bought the painless wiring harness, which has nothing to do with this, and this fan kit from Cold Case. But they didn't come with the male-female. I believe this is the female for both these fans, but I got no male. So I got to find those somewhere online. All right, let's throw her in. I'm gonna need 2 hands. I'm gonna need my cardboard. Hold on. Y'all are going back on the tripod. Step 1, insert the cardboard. Step 2, insert the fanage. Oh, come on. All right, step 3, get that cardboard out of here. All right, she's in like flint. Oh. Show you what we got here. Boy, that looks good. I'll be. Oh, oh. Talk about clearance. Man, that is something to get excited about. I don't know if I want to turn these fans upside down. Ah, oh, dadgummit. Let me get a little clamp. Y'all are going back on the tripod, sorry. I don't want to scratch that up. Have you seen the rest of the car? All right. Show you what we got. There is plenty of room for activities. It's pretty close. Let's get the measuring tape. About 2 inches is all I'm looking for. That's, I mean, she's there. Oh. All right, y'all get the idea. There's about 2 inches between that pulley. I don't see any issue other than my technical skills with this measuring tape. We're looking about, there's 1.5 inches to about 3 inches between that bolt. So we're looking at about 1.5 inches of clearance. We got plenty of room over in here. Our trans cooler is looking good. Radiator's looking good. We got plenty of room for grounding and hiding some electrical that I need to tidy up. I am very impressed. I'm very thankful this bracket worked. Boy, isn't that a view? That might be my picture. All right. Let's do one of them YouTuber pictures. Everybody does. It cracked me up. By the way, I clear coated that after she got a little surface rust on there. And I actually quite like that a lot. I might need to knock it and spray her again. She got real dirty after all this mess. But I did have some issues with my headers. Bolts were backing out. And I had to replace one down here with a nut. Which, gosh, I hate that I had to do that, but I lost the stud. And I can't just buy one ARP stud. So I'm gonna call this a success. I still gotta change out all this hardware to matches. But this is a success in my book. We're gonna run the pickle jar off of that. I'm gonna attempt to mount this fan. It looks like they only gave me rivets. No, they gave me some self-tappers. Why would I self-tap? I'm gonna just have to use, these are already wallered out. I'm gonna have to use me some bolts. That don't make any sense. That's kind of stupid. Lord forgive me. Rivet don't even look like it fits all the way. Ain't no way that fit back there. I'm trying to get you in here. Look at that slop back there. I might have to get some bolts. I've got some right here. My grandfather, when he passed, I got a bunch of his tools and stuff. Like, oh, not really tools actually, but cans of Vienna, sugar-free Cafe Vienna coffee, full of bolts. So let's try this. And these are the good ones. These are old American bolts. See the chamfering down in there? Oh, that's gonna fit perfect. No, it's not actually. Not at all. Maybe it will. I don't want to destroy this radiator. That's a flathead too. I ain't gonna get a lot of torque on that, but we'll see what I can get on it. Y'all thought y'all were coming back for part 3. That pull in there. There we go. Get you a couple of them on there. She ain't going nowhere. It's kind of cool too to think that some hardware from my grandfather after he passed is going into this Galaxie. My grandpa had I wish I knew exactly. It was that copper paint color with white. It was a Bel Air 56 or 57. And if I can find anything to resemble it, that's going to be the next car I get. And I would take a sedan. I believe his was a sedan. And it was the first automatic that his family had ever had. and his father was so upset because of it. But it's pretty cool, and I'd love to get one to match that. As a matter of fact, I seen one the other day in Calhoun. It's a 4-door, that copper bronze, pinkish color with the white center section. It was a 57. Boy, I was tickled. I think Pawpaw's was a 56, but yeah, that's the conversation for another day. All right, let me finish this up. We'll crank the car up. I've got all this new water to get in here, verify leaks, and I had to remove the distributor, so my timing might be off a little. And I forgot to hook up my throttle. Throttle return spring, I should say. I've got that distributor loose. I got water in there. Should be good to go. To bring this around. Well, I dropped my phone. To bring this timing up just a hair. Let that water run. I've got this fan wired up on the temperature. We'll give it a little time and see if she gets some heat in her. And I've got a water leak. Coming out right here. That's why I'm doing this. Let me tighten it down and get you back on it. So the car's gonna sit here and run, and it's gonna try to burn off, get all the air out, and then I've got my pod on top so it can circulate and push the air out. Try to get the thermostat open, try to watch the manual temperature. I want it to hit 185, and then I want to see it drop to 170 with the electric fans. reading 180. It's creeping up close to 190. It's just under. I've got this fan wired up, but I don't have the ignition part wired up, which I don't think I need. This right here. Which I might be wrong. Let me get some wire snips and throw it to 12 volts and see what we get. I need another hand. Well, that turned my fans on. Rating about 190. We're gonna give it time to come on down. She's idling about 750. I think I need to adjust that timing. Bad boys are pushing some heat. Wow. Just got it clipped on there. That was hot. We're reading 190. Wow, that thing is pushing some heat. Man, that hurts. Woo. I think I'm running 190. Show you this transmission leak. Yeah, I just consider it a flush. Got that overflow. It's reading about 189. The main thing I need to see is if this gray wire, which is a ignition wire or fan switch, I want to see if I have to leave it hooked up to power constantly. But I've got the harness set up to run off of the 185, 70, 170 off on thermostat reading. So we'll see. I could bring that idle just a little down. I kicked it up the last time when I was adjusting all this coolant and trying to flush out that case seal. That's just a quarter turn. We'll give her a blip. Man, that motor sounds good. We're back at about 185, 190. Dang wasp just landed on me. Keep hitting my head. Water's still pushing out some debris. Got good water down there. I'm gonna tidy this harness up when I'm done. Just gonna let that sit there and push out. She's still running. I'm gonna put some paper on there to show you. It's not as much airflow as I thought it would be. But that radiator ain't leaking, thank God, amen. There's a good bit of airflow. I'm really shocked they haven't turned off yet. She's holding about 190, but I'm not driving, so maybe I need to go down the road. Get this radiator cap on, we'll do that. I'll get back to you.